require a science-based approach that's going to generate data. So you can get very talented, credible people, and you need them. Collaboration with election officials works. It's working now, worked before, work it again. Collaboration with voting machine companies work.
Okay, Steve.
Am I going too long?
No, I just can't take it anymore. Because you're doing all of this in a bubble as if nothing that just happened in 2020 even exists. There's a reason you're not still doing this. They don't want you to. It's fine to say make friends with all your election officials. Not all the election officials want to make friends. Okay? And we have an entire system now that is in place that is preventing all of these things from happening. I have interviewed people who say the same thing. 15 years ago they identified this, and it's never been fixed. And the reason it's never been fixed is that the people with power don't want it fixed. They're doing everything to stop it being fixed. So it's fine to say, I mean, everything you're saying is logical, it makes sense, you know it works. But everyone in this room is facing a very significant problem, is that when they go out and try to affect these things, they can't get it done. And why not? Not because of the machines, but because the people who created those problems with the machines and haven't fixed them are preventing them. The people who are covering up the problems with the machines are preventing them. The people who you say were so receptive, the media, they're no longer receptive. We don't have the same media anymore. And that is by design. In fact, you have, for example, Lord Malloch Brown, who, when he was head of Smartmatic, and they had issues with the voting machines in the Philippines, he talked about the fact that they reported a result that they didn't even have, because the reporting of that result shifted the election so significantly that it was the end. It was the end of the rule in the Philippines at the time, right? So they understand you're dealing with incredibly sophisticated people who have figured out all these years that these problems have been left to fester. They have figured out how to manipulate the entire system from the beginning, from the voter rolls, to the poll books, to the tabulation machines, to the reporting systems, to the certifications, to the cover-up in the media, and to everything else. And what you are, if we lived in a perfect world where everybody wanted free and fair elections and there were no issues, this would be the perfect solution. But we don't live in that world. And I'm not a political animal. I've never voted in this country. I'm not defined by politics, no matter what they say about me, so I don't care from that point of view. But if you listen to what is being said today, it is now being put out that the demographics of America now define our elections, and we are moving now, according to everything that was said on MSNBC and CNN and the networks just this past week, we are moving into Texas flipping and 30, 40, 50 years of democratic rule in the United States of America. That is what has been said publicly on television repeatedly at least 15 different times on different stations in the last week alone. So there is a plan here to implement that strategy for a desired outcome that is as partisan as it gets. And I'm all for working across the divide because I don't actually believe there's two parties. However, you cannot ignore the partisan nature of this as well. You can't ask all these people in the room who are fighting for something and believe in something to say, oh, it doesn't matter, let's all just hold hands and sing Kumbaya and we can fix it.
Wait, I need to answer this.
Let's see. I understand. I have no problem with that, Matt. I totally understand. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm not saying that it doesn't work on an individual county basis. What I'm saying is there is a broader strategy that is in place. And what we're doing here doesn't address how you deal with that. And I think that Steve is more than qualified to speak to that. And I would love to know what he thinks.
Okay, well. It wasn't that different when I did this stuff, guys. It wasn't that different. Not at all. I am telling you, the world that I operated in when I did was no different. You guys are just new to this. In some ways, it was more hostile. Look, wait. Hey, let me tell you something. Let me talk, because I am the most qualified person in this room on this topic. It is clear that there's more work in this place than me, and I'm tired of listening to people tell me how this stuff works. Right? You know what? 80% of Americans will buy that message. 80%. They'll all agree. I could give that message to a room of Dems. I give that message to a room of high net worth left-wing donors. Most of them will do it. They'll buy in. That's how you win. There's no other message that you can give that will get that sort of support. There is no other approach. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong, and I get all this stuff, but I'm telling you, this is the path. This is the only approach. I've watched so many nonprofits take this partisan approach and fail miserably. Everyone. I succeeded. I left because I had an alternative, and the public wasn't ready for this. I wasn't going to kill myself, literally, to protect the American public. I didn't give a damn. I had better things to do. Luckily, or unluckily, 2020 started waking some of you guys up, so I got back involved. That's what happened. You guys keep going down this partisan route. Forget it. Sorry.
What I said was not partisan or partisan based. But let me ask you something. So in researching for this film, I have the original documents from the Open Society Foundation going back 20 years. They have been funding and financing messaging that there is no such thing as voter fraud. So while you're addressing, and I know because I've collected a gazillion examples of Democrats having issues with elections, with Republicans saying the same things that Republicans are saying now. I can play you a clip from Dan Rather saying all the same things 20 years ago that we're saying now. That is all true. But what is also true is that they highly funded, we're talking millions and millions and millions of dollars funded by the most powerful people in this country to deny that there's any form of fraud and that anything that you're talking about needs to happen because it doesn't actually exist.
I don't dispute any of that.
Sorry, we have gone over time, like all day. Now people are starting to come in. So, and I understand the support and discussion. I just think let's give Steve 5 minutes to finish out. Maybe not 5 minutes.
Okay, you have more now?
No, you finish off because I think this is fair because Steve has been here before. Who thinks what we're doing right now is working? Who thinks it's working?
No, look,
it's not working, okay? So if you're open to something else, let's let him talk, and then Mark has an announcement, and we'll finish up.
Okay, so I'm not going to dispute anything you just said. Okay, right? Whatever. Let whoever wants to do whatever they want to do. I don't care. This is what we're going to do. Stop us. You can't. I'm telling you, you can't stop this. Try. This path can't be stopped. I don't care what they're doing, what messaging, how much dough they're throwing in. It doesn't matter. You can't stop this. I'm telling you. What? Well, what has to be exposed? I don't just care about is an accurate vote count. But
okay,
see, look, look, you guys want a strategy to get you to where you want to go, I'm giving you one. Okay? I'm giving you a strategy that'll get you. But if you guys want to bring in New World Order and all these other topics, I'm telling you, you're not going to get the help of the academics. You're not going to get the help of credible people if you start bringing in other topics.
Tori, we're not taking any questions. No. Steve has. Steve said
I don't know.
there's
I don't
5
know
minutes
anything
to
about
finish, and then Mark's gonna make an announcement. We're gonna close.
I've heard that name, I don't know anything. I don't really pay attention to most people today anymore. So I don't know what anyone's saying.
Sir, no more.
I'm giving you a path. You guys got to go down this path if you want success. I don't give a damn what anybody else is doing. I put blinders on. I ignore it. I could care less what anybody else says. It's irrelevant to me.
Okay,
This path will work.
I'm sorry, we unfortunately are out of time, so we want Steve to finish, and then, there's just no time for more questions, if you don't mind holding the questions. Don't want anyone to feel disenfranchised, but we really would, we have a deadline, and we want, to hear from Steve.
I don't know if I have any. Let me just see what I got. I can't remember what I got left. Quality assurance works. I've talked about all this stuff. I just want to get to one slide because I want you to know yes. I want you guys to see the names of the credible people in this space. I want you to see these names that you don't know, right? Ed Felton from Princeton, Avi Rubin and Dan Wallach from Johns Hopkins, Kelly Patterson, Quinn Monson from BYU. I've worked with all these people. All these people helped me. Thad Hall from the University of Utah. These people helped me write the audit report. Warren Matovsky, the greatest man ever, unfortunately passed away shortly after I finished the audit report. He is the inventor, the founder of exit polls. One of the people I respect the most. Roy Saltman, I mentioned, who was on my advisory team, started this stuff in the 70s. Eva Westgell, and maybe you don't know, she started in the 80s on this stuff. Roxanne Jackett knew everything about elections in Georgia. This woman fought tirelessly. Jones from the University of Iowa, Ron Rivest from MIT did some of the early work on the machines, and then the guys at Caltech, Mike Alvarez, John Katz, Charles Stewart. These are the names. These are the people you need involved. These people have all been in it for 20 years or more. They're all above reproach. I don't know any of their political leanings. I've never asked. We've never talked about it. These guys know the election system. They know election officials, and they know how to address this stuff. And they do credible, responsible work. It's people like this that you need. You got to get out of this whole political domain you're in, and all these people around the fringes who haven't studied this stuff. Otherwise, you're just going to be running circles. That's all I got, folks.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. We don't have time for questions because the venue is booked by somebody else. So if you want to grab Steve one-on-one, I have no doubt he'll be happy to take some questions.